Now, just to contrast, we heard
didn't mean to
President
shout,
Obama.
sorry.
We heard President Obama basically say the Republicans, they try and talk tough, but they're afraid of 3-year-old orphans. That seems to be a problem. Well, apparently, Ted Cruz really took issue with the way that he was characterized.
No doubt.
And he really, now understand.
He loves Christian children.
He
loves 3-year-old
understands
Christians.
that the Republicans got very upset when anybody criticized George Bush. And then the idea, if you were on a trip and you were outside of the country and you criticized George Bush, that's the worst thing you could do. Like the Dixie Chicks, they should have been.
Yeah, Hannity was really steamed.
Yeah, he was steamed. How could the Dixie Chicks do that?
That's why there's no Christmas, Sam. That's why there's a war on Christmas. This is all, basically what we're saying is then there's no Christmas.
Now we have multiple examples of Republicans going to foreign countries and criticizing President Obama. He didn't whine about it, but here's Ted Cruz sort of flipping it, like the idea that generically President Obama would criticize generically a response at home while he's overseas is offensive. And I'll tell you something, Ted Cruz, you don't get away with it. Let's say it to his face.
Not on his watch.
Say it to his face.
Well, I will say it's fairly remarkable that President Obama has now chosen 2 days in a row to attack me directly. He just called me offensive the day before.
Him, yes.
He called me un-American. You know, I think that's really quite rich that he chose to make both of those insults on foreign soil while he was abroad, attacking me and attacking everyone else in this country who believes we should not be bringing in tens of thousands of Syrian Muslim refugees, that the Obama administration cannot vet to determine whether or not they are ISIS terrorists. I got to tell you, it is utterly unbefitting of a president.
Oh, yeah.
To be engaging in those kind of personal insults and attacks. Yep. And, you know, he talked about how he was belittling the Republican field as scared. Well, let me suggest something, Mr. President.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Do you want to insult me? You can do it overseas. You can do it in Turkey. You can do it in foreign countries.
He just said
well,
you shouldn't.
I would encourage you, Mr. President, come back and insult me to my face.
Oh!
Let's have a debate on
You
Syrian
just got served!
right now.
You
can do it anywhere
just
you
got
want. I
served.
prefer it in the United States and not overseas where you're making the insults. It's easy to toss a cheap insult when no one can respond, but let's have a debate. We'll do it on any station.
All right,
It's
so there
easy
you
to
go.
toss a cheap insult.
I will always provide cheap insults.
He was
for
about
Ted
to say
Cruz.
toss a cheap. Ted Cruz is so full of shit. It's unbelievable. And hey, he was talking about me. Look, it's about me. Say it to my face. He is such a pretender to the dumb. You know what I mean? He is not as dumb as he
Not at all.
pretends. He's certainly a douchebag. Pardon my French. That really is French. I feel comfortable saying it. I'm sorry. I spoke French in solidarity with
Douchebag.
I'm sorry. I said le douchebag. Today, we are all the douchebags. I'm sorry. Be that as it may, Ted Cruz is a provocateur. He's an opportunist. These guys are all almost like bad performance artists. Remember how I used to say that Ann Coulter was Andy Kaufman?
Yes,
I really
yes.
believed that someday we would find out that
I
Andy
asked
Kaufman...
her that to her face at
And
the.
did she know what you meant?
She pretended like she didn't know who Andy Kaufman was.
Which
is exactly
a lot of bull. That's what he
Andy
would do.
Kaufman would do.
That's what he would do. But now I'm starting to think that it's not her. It's one of these other guys. But there's too many now. There's too many. Unless it's got a boys
Well,
from
but by
Brazil
now
quality,
Andy Kaufman
and
would probably have kids who are
No,
probably
there's
in their
a bunch
20s.
of Kaufmans waiting. A bunch
Right.
of acolytes. That's why I said boys from Brazil.
Right. Oh yeah, he's been cloned.
They've been something's going on, and that's what this field
He's sending
is.
him out, and they're becoming.
Yeah, they're just the rise of a new generation of anti-comedy, which is what they're doing.
It's very possible. I mean, that's.
It's a way to offend, to walk the room. What they're trying to do is walk the room on a global scale.
But here's the thing: that Ted Cruz, say it to my face.
Yeah,
I would say probably worth 4 points bump in the Republican polls.